What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesta here with VYPE Media. We are inside the Coach's Corner, of course, every week with Coach Greg Cranfill of St. Pius X. All right, Coach, we'll talk about your weekend in a minute because I've got my LSU shirt and you went to the LSU game. But let's just start off by this. You got some guys probably a little more healthy heading into the playoffs. You had an off week preparing for Prestonwood. What did y'all get accomplished this week?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the biggest thing for us was to get people back healthy. It would have been difficult to play Friday if you want to know the truth, just because we had 4 starters that were at home sick the majority of the week. That open week came at a good time for us, and got a lot of kids that are banged up. Giving them a whole extra week of rehab and those types of things. We feel like at this point we are as in good a shape as we've been in a long time to go into the playoffs. We're going to have to be. Prestonwood's a really great football team, but we're going to go out there like we talk about week in and week out and give it our best shot. And we feel good about some of the things that we were able to put in during this open week, and just the reps that we were able to give some of our younger guys, because that's what it is. I mean, it's getting into the playoffs. You go back and look at some of these teams that are constantly doing well in the playoffs. If they run 4 or 5, maybe even 6 weeks into the playoffs, that's another half of a season that those underclassmen get with reps and those types of things. And that's why you just keep building on the tradition. We feel like, this is our second year in a row to be 2 rounds deep, and everything that we've gotten, we've earned. It hasn't been easy, but we've earned it, and we feel confident about where we are right now as a program.
What I like is that you've already seen the top team in TAPS, in St. Thomas, so nothing is going to shock you. Prestonwood, again, a superpower in TAPS as well, but how do you think your season and your schedule has prepared you for this?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. And another one you could throw in there is Antonian, who has played well, and Concordia Lutheran, who just came off of a big win in their first round. So, and Central Catholic, who almost upset Bishop Lynch on Saturday. So, all of those games prepare us for this moment right here. Obviously, we'd love to win a district championship, but getting into the playoffs and getting a spot in which we feel like we can go out and compete. You're right. I do not look at film, and don't get me wrong, Prestonwood is an amazing football team, but I don't look at film going, we haven't played anyone like this the whole year, because I feel like we have. And I think that's a big deal. That's a big shock to some teams that get deeper and deeper into the playoffs, because the first thing that they do is they go, this is the best team that we've ever, and I don't feel like we are in that situation. Are they good? Absolutely. Are they really good? Absolutely. But again, I don't sit there and look 11 for 11. They're better than us when it comes to every position on the field, or 11 for 11. We haven't seen anybody that matches them. I don't feel that way. I feel like everything that we've done has prepared us to go into this match and put up a good fight.
Tell me, what do you feel like are the keys that y'all are really going to have to win to win this game?
Sure. And for us, it all comes down to stops. I mean, they've got an amazing offensive line and one of the top quarterbacks that we have seen. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to have to get some takeaways. We're going to have to force them to do some things that they're not accustomed to doing. And then we've got to take care of the ball on our side. We feel like we've done a pretty good job of that here lately, but it comes down to not getting into situations in third and long in which we're having to force the ball down the field. We want to take our shots when we want to take our shots, as opposed to when the game is dictated that we have to. And then we feel like we've got a chance. We've got to get off the field on defense. And I think schematically, we're going to do some things that they have not seen us do on film or to anyone else as far as that is concerned. So we feel like, going out and executing the game plan gives us that advantage that we think we need.
I love playoff football. We've already seen some upsets around in the public school, the private school ranks. Just tell the people what the energy is like in the postseason versus the regular season.
Right. And I think that's what it comes down to is I always tell my guys, you're going to get about 4 different versions of Coach Cranfill throughout the course of this year. You're going to get the 2-a-day version, then you're going to get the regular season version, then you're going to get the district version, and then now you get the playoff version. I would love to say that it's constantly the same. And I bet if you ask them, it is. But in my mind, I always like to turn it up one more notch because of the level of importance, because it is a win or go home. You push all your chips in the middle of the table and you go to work. And that's what we're doing right now. I think it's fun. Because like you said, a buddy of mine, BJ Gott, who's the head coach at Pearland, goes to 5 overtimes. And no matter what anybody is predicting, as far as this team should beat this team, or it really comes down to matchups, and it comes down to executing in critical moments of the game. And I think that's where we're at, knowing that in this situation, there is no tomorrow. So give it everything you got and show some people things that you haven't done, but then get really good at the things that you have done, and make it where you're in a position where you're going, okay, you have to stop us as well. And that's where we feel like we are. So
I know y'all love the fourth quarter, just giving yourself a chance in that fourth quarter.
That's it, man.
It's so powerful, because anything can really happen. You've probably seen some wild stuff happen in your days in that fourth quarter of a playoff game. And that's all you're really looking for.
That's exactly right. And that's kind of the message that I've sent our guys is we feel like if we can get through the first initial part of the storm that Plano Prestonwood's going to throw on us, that if we just stay the course and understand that we're all in, and what it's those burn the boats, because there's no getting back on them. This is who we are. This is who we're going to be, and we're going to move forward the rest of the way. And I think it's kind of fun for those kids as well to know that, it's a win or go home situation as well. And to know that we're in the fight, that's the biggest deal, and it's just like you said, how many teams get in the playoffs and then they get hot and then they start winning and winning and winning. And everybody's like, wow, how does that happen? Well, it's maybe shocking to others, but not to those people in that locker room. And then we feel like that we may be one of those teams that are going to have some people turning their heads.
All right, so let's talk about your weekend. You headed to Baton Rouge to go check out the LSU Florida game. That's a big stage. That's a cathedral of football. Just talk about what that was like.
Yeah, so, I sent an email earlier to some of the coaches and the high school relations guy who actually used to play tailback at LSU, and I said, hey, man, I'd love to bring my son to, Death Valley after dark for a night game. And he graciously sent us tickets. And so I told Brady, we're getting up early Saturday and driving. We went to the game, and then, like kind of like you and I were talking, there's no sleep after football games for Coach Cranfill. So I decided to drive it all the way home. It was a long day, but well worth it. Just to be in that atmosphere and just to see those types of crowds and how they respond and react. It's fun to be a part of it, and you're a graduate of LSU. It's one of the most unique places on this planet, and it was fun to be a part of. And I know Brady had a good time as well.
Well, hey, y'all go get him this weekend. Let's see y'all shock the world.
Let's do it.
And we will talk next week as well. But hey, good luck to the Panthers this weekend as they take on Plano Prestonwood in the playoffs. Second round of the playoffs in TAPS. Go get them.
Go Panthers.